Ladies and gentlemen, and I am happy. What is up, Jared Allen? How you doing? Right on. Hello, Nolene and Free Candy and Egan from Florida. I know who that is. Tally 1975. Yes, this is great. It is everybody I wanted to see. And Jennifer is over in Periscope and she's ready to crack some skulls and abuse her power. So if you were joining us from Periscope, you might want to be careful of that. Also, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please know that when you comment, I get to see them in the restream. But I will also tell you guys this. There is a lot of you who watch this on a daily basis over in YouTube, because you guys click like and you're liking the videos. Hey, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're digging it. I don't get to hear from you guys as you guys watch these things on archived later, and it's difficult for me to know what's going on with that. But Free Candy says, "Good morning. Just wanted to see your hair." It is getting, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about this. Chantel 1984, glad to see you this morning as well. Yeah, guys, where are we at? We're at week 9, going into week 10. I'm putting together a theme for this week. So the theme for this week is going to be happiness during Corona. Not so much during Corona, but the quest for happiness regularly. Jennifer says, hair is magnificent. And I got cool wig I got here. Yeah. Trust me, bro. If I was able to put wigs on this morning, I wouldn't go with this one. I'll tell you that much right now. All right. So I want to talk about the quest for happiness because it was the quest for happiness that had led me into self-development. And it also ties in with a bunch of questions that I got today. And it also ties in with the podcast episode that was released today with Gretchen Rubin. I hope you guys check that out. It is great. She has a podcast called Happier. And she is also doing research in that very subject. And then, of course, we also have an interview with Dan Harris coming up. And he has a book called 10% Happier. So everything that I have been doing research in, doing work on, reading for interviews, everything had to deal with happiness. So I decided, screw it. Let's just talk about the quest for happiness this week. And besides, I have it in a couple questions from Nolene and Christina, who were so graciously kind to send me some. So I want to talk about that. Lisa Adkins, how you doing? And Lisa Marie, how you doing? Everybody, the gang is here. I love it. So with that, let's just go ahead and dive in. I guess let's start it with this. So the Gretchen Rubin episode, if you haven't caught it yet, please download it. It is great. I love chatting with her. It's funny because it was one of the first interviews that I had done in a long time where I was pretty quiet during most of that interview. Gretchen's research in the 4 tendencies is spot on. And her idea of expectations, the inner expectations that you hold for yourself and the outer expectations that you deal with of other people. That idea broken up into 4 quadrants was fantastic. And then, of course, for myself, upon reading her book, I immediately wanted to poke holes in her hypothesis because it's a book about it's about personalities. and I mentioned this last week, anytime that you put one of these personality tests together, depending on how you're feeling that day, can skew the results. So I never really liked those things, and I always found them kind of silly and equated them almost to astrology. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings out there. And I know lots of people who still love astrology and love to read their horoscope, but I just can't take that stuff serious. So, you know what else I love, guys? I love that Charlie shows up and people on the Insta are excited to see him. I love it. We have a gang going. That makes me happy. So, if you haven't listened to the episode with Gretchen Rubin, please do. If you pick up her book, The 4 Tendencies, it's great. If you love that sort of psychology slant on personality types, then it is a great read, and the science behind it is sound, and I couldn't poke any holes into her hypothesis. And on top of not being able to poke holes in her hypothesis, I'm now seeing the inner and outer expectations idea in many different aspects of people. Jennifer says she loves the quiz and her results are right on the mark. Jennifer, were you a questioner? I would imagine so from our brief discussions. I certainly am. And if you read the book, there are so many quotes that align with your personality type that it's hard to shake off. So I enjoyed it. So challenge yourself and challenge your relationships by reading this book and applying her advice for the weaknesses and strengths of each personality for yourself and to your loved ones. And here's what else I love. She put, because she's a woman and she thinks from the perspective of being a wife and a mommy, she put together ideas for, if you notice that your child falls in one of the 4 tendencies, how to deal with them, how to influence them in a manner that tugs on their inner and outer expectations, which is brilliant. So the book also, not only is it informative, it carries a lot of utility. And so it's a great read. You'll find utility in it. It'll help redefine your filter for your worldview. And it's a lot of fun. So check out the interview, check out her book. And if you don't have time for any of that, just take the quiz, GretchenRubin.com. It has the 4 tendencies quiz, and it's very easy. Nope, I'm good. I'm good, darling. I appreciate your concern, but I am holding fantastically here in Los Angeles. Now, moving from that. So this week, guys, I just finished Dan Harris's book, Meditation for... Charmin Buddha has a question. Okay, well, we'll get to that. I like that question. So I had just finished Dan Harris's new book, which is Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics. Now, I'm a questioner as of Gretchen Rubin's tendencies quiz, and I have been in self-development for 15 years. And one of the ideas that has always eluded me, or I just felt I just was never really interested in the idea of meditation. There's a lot of connotations that go with it that just never were exciting for me. Now, if you're listening to this, you're in the self-development. I'm probably guessing that a lot of you are into meditation. For whatever reason, I have interviewed plenty of meditation experts. I have plenty of friends who are into meditation. For me, up until this point, the idea of it it just didn't ring my bell. I wasn't interested. So yes, I am a fidgety skeptic, Jennifer. And so with that, I read his book, and his book as marketing material for meditation for fidgety skeptics. He did a great job in giving a lot of testimonials and a lot of people's experience with meditation in the hopes that something would hit me. Well, for him, that something of interviewing these people and telling this story of them going on this meditation retreat across the country that was going to hit the reader into giving meditation a chance. Well, lo and behold, there was one line that hit me hard, hit me like a tweet that kind of hits where it makes you think. And it might be an idea that if you have heard over and over again, but the phrase that hit me was he was interviewing somebody who said that meditation was just a celebration in being. Now, I don't know why. Maybe it's how much appreciation and gratefulness comes into play during Corona. But that phrase, a celebration of just being, hit me. I found that to be impactful. So with that phrase, and I couldn't rebuke that, I was like, that's wonderful. Why wouldn't I want to celebrate being? Why wouldn't I want to celebrate the things that I should be grateful for in this moment? So it was in that moment that I put that book down and I did the 10 breath meditation exercise. And that 10 breath meditation exercise felt really good. And I rolled to about 30 breaths. And I have to say that 30 breaths was close to about 5 minutes. And I felt incredibly relaxed after that and calm. And so I did it again yesterday. And so I'm going to put this practice into my daily life. Now, here's what I think of that experience. With the onset of dealing with Corona for 9 weeks now of being in lockdown, the human interaction that I have had face to face has been minimal. I come live to you guys every morning with a puppet. So, with the anxiety, the irritableness, and the uncertainty that comes with sitting in the house every day, not being able to make plans, trying to hold together some sort of semblance of normalcy, I haven't really noticed the steady increase of irritableness and anxiety. And I was really wound up this weekend. I couldn't relax. I couldn't enjoy the weekend. I wanted to just put on tunes, drink a few beers, and just enjoy. And I couldn't. I was so wound up. And the other thing about this is I don't really have an office to go into anymore. I do spend time to get outside, and I do that to the best of my ability. But the rest of the time, I'm just sitting in the house. And like some of you who work from home, there's work to constantly be doing every day, all day. And it starts to eat away at you that you should always be doing some work. Anyway, this moment in celebrating of just being had the opportunity and gave me the perspective to just detach from everything for a moment. And when I did that, I felt that much better. I felt happier. I felt relaxed. So much so that the rest of my evening was heaven. The rest of my evening was music blasting, a Peroni, ice cold, and a big smile on my face, just enjoying the situation to the best of my ability. So, with that, if you have been a fidgety skeptic, I would recommend to check out his new book, Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics. It's an easy read. I read it in an evening. And try some of the simple meditation exercises and celebrate just being, because I found it incredible. I found it was just what I needed. So with that, I'm going to now incorporate a little bit of that 5-minute meditation a day and just see how it goes for the week in my quest to be happier, which we all are, and in Dan's research of his first book, 10% Happier, it was all about his quest to find that and doing the research and realizing and finding that meditation helped him with that. So check it out. That interview is going to be coming up in a few weeks. All right. You're an adventurer. It's good to see you all the way from Montana. I like to change up my routine to go outside for a few hours while the sun is out. Work later in the day helps with the guilt, and I feel not working all the time. Yes, I agree. It's the sun. You know, we have an odd day in Hollywood this week where it is raining here in May. All right. So now, with that, I want to get to 2 questions that I will end the show with. And one is from Christina, and the other one is from Nolene. And they're both question from over in YouTube land. Do you think physically pushing yourself is the same for the mind as meditation? Pushing yourself physically, it is completely different. While pushing yourself physically takes some mental aspect to it, and the more you push yourself physically, the more you are pushing yourself mentally to be able to absorb the physical punishment and the physical workout, where meditation is just at least for me at this moment, it is fully in the mind and an opportunity to center yourself, to give yourself some perspective on appreciation and to reset. And I think that's important because this is where the onset of Corona and everything, and the uncertainty and everything that goes with it slowly works its way up. It slowly builds. And for myself, I didn't even really notice how irritable I had become. It wasn't until I done the meditation exercise and settled in that I was relaxed, that I realized how irritable I had become and how fidgety. So there's your answer. Nerd who lifts is the person over in YouTube land. Thank you very much. And if you always watch this from YouTube, I'm going to say it again. If you are a YouTube person, please comment on my videos. I see you guys liking them, but it helps me. It makes me happy. It lets me know you guys are digging them. I see the videos and I see likes. I'm like, okay, well, at least they like it. All right. So let's go to the questions. So this is from Nolene, which is, what about chatting about changing jobs, taking career risks during the pandemic lockdown? It's tempting to stay in the same secure job if you're with a big company with all the benefits, but a job opportunity has come up with a smaller company, less pay, but something I'd love to do. Bad time or good time for taking risks. Can I just preface any advice that I give out on this show, or at least if we're going to discuss anything, that you are watching a show on Instagram with a guy with Bon Jovi hair who's talking to a puppet? Let's preface that first. All right. So Nolene, I love your question. And I asked you if there was any more that you could say about this, and you mentioned that I guess there's no good time. You mentioned there is no good time for risk, and there isn't. Risk will always be risk, whether it's in time of Corona, whether it's not. Now, I don't know that there's how much about your situation at home, but if you have little ones and a husband or in a relationship, there should be some discussion with the family about that. And obviously, you have others who depend on you and that steady job, which makes things, especially a career change, difficult. But here's why. Nolene says, just me. Well, here's the thing. If you got at least a little money saved up and you feel good, I would say this as well. You should be interviewing the company as much as they're interviewing you. And if they're courting you to come work for them, court them, talk to them, let them know, look, here's the situation. This is in the middle of a pandemic. I would be making a large sacrifice, or sorry, not the wrong word. I would be taking a huge risk to go from where I am to this job. Now, one of the reasons that this question came at the right time is I decided to dedicate this week to happiness, and you mentioned that this would be less pay, but something that you would love to do. Now, I am certainly not going to tell anybody that you shouldn't make choices that allow you to be happy. Because if you are happy, then you are going to do great work. So the other part about this is understand the team that you're going to be working for. What is the team like? Is it a happy family? Are they lovely people? You said it's a smaller company. So these are some things to take into consideration. I want you to be happy, because a happier you means a more productive you. And you're going to get more out of your life, and you're going to make decisions in which you enrich your experience, that you enhance your experience. And to be honest with you, in the situation that we're in, and I happen to be a fan of existentialism, enhancing your experience here on Earth and having this life is incredibly important. We have to make our own meaning and find our own purpose and choose what that is, so that every day that we wake up, we're excited, no matter what that purpose and meaning is going to be for us. And I'm certainly not somebody who can dictate that for anybody else. And I don't like people who dictate that for anybody else. Those are authoritarians. I want everyone to be able to make the choices and come to their own meaning and purpose through their own experience. Because when that happens for you, you feel as if you've made your meaning. You've come to that decision on your own. It becomes very important to you. So it makes every day that you wake up exciting. Why? Because you're on the mission that you have chosen. And that's very important. When these things are chosen for us, then we have to find meaning within a system. For instance, Viktor Frankl, who was in the concentration camps of Nazi Germany, or was it the Gulag? I can't remember. I'm getting my prison camps mixed up. But Viktor Frankl had to find meaning within being put in a certain position, and so he found meaning through helping others in the position that he was in. Yes, Christina, a life worth fighting for. when you wake up for a life worth fighting for, every day is amazing. Every day is great. You guys are awesome. I love how you guys actually hold some of the things that I've talked about dearly. I love it. Indeed, Christina. I was talking about Viktor Frankl, Brussy Charlie. So, but he had found meaning in circumstances of being in a prison camp. That is on us. We have to find our own meaning in the situations that we're in order for us to feel good. Documental says hello. Well, hello to you too. All right. So Christina's question. Hey, Johnny and AJ, I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. I would love to pick your brain for a second and ask your advice. So yesterday, before going to bed, I stepped foot in my room and was hit by this thought. I don't know if I want to go back and do what I was doing work-wise. What is that, Christina? This struck me, and I can't stop thinking about what it does. It means because my job gave me satisfactions, and I know what I love about my job, but it's not the first time I had this feeling during this time at home, but it's also don't have a clear what else I could do. Oh, okay. Is it just isolation crisis? You know, I will say that there is a lot of isolation crisis. I think we're all going through that. I myself go through that. The only thing that separates for myself is with the Art of Charm, I helped build this with AJ over the last 14 years. So my path, my meaning, my purpose is clear in my mind. It's just waking up some days. I'm wondering what parts I should be working on and what things I should be doing. But that purpose is always there. Here's what's great about your situation, Christina. You were able to do whatever it is you want to do during this time of isolation and experiment with all these different tools. For instance, I've been going live to you guys every day for the last 9 weeks. Well, 40 some episodes we're almost at, as an opportunity to learn, get better on camera, to build an audience, and have fun with you guys. And we're able to do that. And you are able to do that. So think about whatever things are tickling your fancy, the things that interest you the most in this time of chill, of Corona and relax, and have some fun. You know, I was checking out your Instagram, and I know that you're a foodie, and the food, the cakes and desserts and all the wonderful food that you post from Venice looks utterly amazing. Is that the job that you're in now, or is that something that you want to be doing more of? So those are all wonderful, and feel good that you have this opportunity. And though things are slowly opening up, nothing's going to be going back to normal for quite some time. So you have this opportunity to continue working, trying new things, enjoying life. And regardless of Corona or not, you still have those opportunities to experiment, to experience these different things. But I will say, and I just had this discussion with my neighbor yesterday, which is it's difficult when we don't have so much social interaction and we've been stripped away from some of the things that make us human, which is vibrant social lives. Whether you're an introvert or not, we have connection and vibrant social lives that have been taken from us from a certain degree. And somebody mentioned to me that they haven't been hugged in months. And I have to say, I haven't been hugged in months either. You know, that plays a role. Do you know how much oxytocin and feel-good chemicals are released that are vital to our well-being as human beings that has been stripped away from a lot of us? So, you know, those don't think that that's not playing a role in how we view the world and our emotions on a daily basis as we're going through Corona. That's why I wanted to do a week on happiness. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So to you, Christina, thank you for your question. And Nolene, guys, if I haven't answered your question well enough, or you have other parts you'd like my thoughts on, please send them to me at the however you guys view me, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. Guys, I have to head out. I have to get to my other groups. If you enjoy this conversation, check out the Communication Accelerator. It is in the link tree in Twitter bio. It is in the link tree of the Instagram. It is all our best bits from our classes, live training programs, and expert guests over the podcast for the last 14 years. Also, check out the Gretchen Rubin episode. It had dropped this week today. Her book is amazing. Take the quiz. Give us a listen. And I will see you guys here tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And let's have a great week, guys. Kill it.